That was a bit dramatic, wasn't it? Woohoo! Honestly, it gets a lot better. Welcome back to the Paul Dolden Details channel. Right, this week is a kind of a brand review, but a feature as well. It's a big video. This is probably one of the longest videos I've ever made, so strap yourself in. Right, this is Detailer's Passion's brand. These are Suffolk based. Now, I have to say, kind of a disclaimer, I know Jamie very, very well that runs the company. Now, when it comes to doing reviews for people you know, this is exceptionally difficult because you have to be very, very brutal and very, very honest. There's none of this pat you on the back, see you all right, mate, give me a brown envelope, chuck me some more products, say no more. None of that. I have been really, really honest and brutal, and I have to say it right from the start, okay? Just get that out there. Disclaimer for the old keyboard warriors. Right, so this week is primarily a machine polishing review, but there are some other products, new products chucked in there as well. We'll talk about those through the video. I'll explain all as we go along. I'll very, very, very quickly show you the machines in question. We have, start with a little one. This is the DF12A, so he's stepping all over the lead. So it's a DA polisher, a 3-inch polisher, okay? This is the lower end of the scale price-wise. You'll be surprised at the price, so stay tuned. So this is the DF12A, it's a new polisher from Detailer's Passions. Ideal for getting in the curvy places. You'll find that out with the Cobra. A lot of curves. And this one, this is the SP15, so kind of like, similar to the rupees, everyone will say it. You'll be surprised at the weight difference between these. It's quite shocking. That's the big one, that's the big kiddie. So that's going to be used on the Cobra. Also, there's some pads, but we'll talk about those throughout the video. Right, as far as the liquid products are concerned and the wax, in no particular order, we have the shampoo. This is Glow. Now, I have used this before. This is the glossy shampoo. It's kind of got like a wax in there, high lube. Perfect for the Cobra because there's nothing on it. It's as flat as a pancake. That one we're going to be using. Let's go to the polish. Now, this is an all-in-one. This is a one-step polish. Now, it's not a glaze. Don't get confused. He does do a glaze. They look similar, but they're completely different animals. Mixed, all-in-one polish. Has a pretty good cut to this. Very highly lubricated, that one. Then we have chrome polish. Really, there's a lot of chrome on this car. Honestly, tons of it. And dress, solvent-based tyre dressing or trim dressing. Number 12, no, that's not where I live. That is the wax. Oh, it's lovely. Brazilian Carnauba wax. Nice big pot of that. And numerous other little things like microfibers. We'll talk about that during the course of the video. Right, as always, this is a bit of a long one. What I'll say to my missus is, I've had a few. Strap yourself in. It's going to be a long one. Roll the video. Grab your popcorn, grab your beer. It's time for the big one. Right, in with the detail guards first to protect my hoses from getting jammed up. And the first chemical is Sinner. Now, this is the APC from Detailer's Passion. Didn't mention this in the beginning of the video. I have used this before. You can dilute this down. So 8:1 on the tyres. I've also used it in the Marilex electric pump sprayer. And I'll explain about that in a bit. So I didn't actually use the EZ brushes on these wheels because they've got like a step. The actual barrel is stepped down from the face. You can't actually clean the barrel unless you take the wheels off. So it's a case of the cheap Chinese wash mitts and a hog's hair brush. Make sure you get all in the nooks and crannies. Now, I'm going to say this right from the start of the video. Some of this video is sped up, obviously for time purposes, but the machine polishing, I have allowed some parts of that to be normal time, so you get an idea of my arm speed, and the rest is speeded up, obviously. Otherwise, we'll still be here next week. Huge, these rims. Yeah, that was spitting and farting all over the place. I wouldn't recommend using low water pressure with a pressure washer. Just do it very, very quickly and then turn the machine back off. We don't want to trash your machine. But they're huge, these rims. Nice though, aren't they? This allows to clean most of the grime off, and we should be polishing those later on with the chrome cleaner. So look, pretty much probably more power in the Marilex than the pressure washer. Sinner being applied to the body as a pre-wash. Now Jamie does do a pre-wash, a citrus pre-wash, ready to use, but I just choose on the day to use the APC, one product for several jobs. Allow this to dwell. coat the rest of the car. That is one sexy rear end. So a lot of shots in this video. In fact, there is 174 separate clips and images. I told you it was a big one, didn't I? So go around the intricate areas, working it in. Now while this is dwelling, it's time to concentrate on these side pipes. These are blooming huge. Bit of fallout remover on these to loosen up the decontamination process. Get rid of those contaminants with fallout remover, and that acts as a lubricant for the wire wall. That is 40 wire wall. We'll be coming back to these pipes later on. There is a reason why I didn't use fallout remover on the body of the car, and that is because there is a water course further down the road. There is a natural pond, and the owner doesn't want harsh chemicals going in. We don't want to see ducks on the surface belly up the next day, do we? And the car has been stored, so as far as contaminants are concerned, they are very minimal. You'll see that in the claying stage. Very quickly wash it down with the rather low powered pressure washer. Not much water coming through that. There's no real road grime on this, it's mainly dust. On with the shampoo stage. This is glow. Not a lot of foam being produced here, for the simple reason is I couldn't agitate the buckets with my pressure washer. There just wasn't enough pressure coming through. I probably could have stood up here and peed in it, to be honest with you. It would have been easier. Getting used to being on the floor, I'm going to be down on my knees for a considerable amount of time. Notice the incredible tape-up job from the cockpit. Don't need water going in that. The old iconic mouth of the Cobra. Clay stage. So with the clay, make sure you soak it if you're going to use this type of clay, the built hamber clay. This softens it up. Use hot water. On the day I chose to use a flask, fill it up with boiling water before I left. Whack it in a flask if you're a mobile detailer, top tip for you. Then just use water, no real lubricants in there. You can put some suds on here if you want, but I found with this clay it doesn't really like it and it starts breaking down. Water will suffice. So keep that water flowing, keep it on the panels. So how much contamination was on the body? That much. Bugger all. So while I took the sheet off the cockpit, next stage, drying stage. In conjunction with a towel, of course. But first of all, use the AirTech blaster. And then it's the best bit of all, taping up. Yeah, really? Oh my God. What a lot of taping this was, and fiddly. Chrome looks nice, but it's a pain in the backside to tape up. So that's the only real rubber on the car. Yeah, you'll see the rest. All around the cockpit. So we go for the machines. We've got a spot pad on the left and the main machine on the right, the SP15, 15mm throw and a 12mm throw on the spot pad polisher. Here she is, all ready to get used and abused. Trigger on the front, speed controller on the back. I believe these are both soft starts as well. So you get a set of brushes and a spanner in both machines. The bigger machine, the SP15. Nice ergonomic design. Speed controller on the rear. Actually feels lighter than the other one. Very odd. There's the handle you get and the brushes. Didn't bother with the handle. So there's the size difference between both machines, the Roops and the SP15. Not much in it, is there really? So these aren't actually on the site yet, or they will be by the time you're watching this video, hopefully. You get a set of 3. The yellow one, which is the firmest of the 3. A finishing pad, the black one. And of course the microfiber pad. One-step polish, mixed. Very, very slight amount of wax in this, and I mean a slight amount. It's obviously sped up for the first shot. We'll get a test panel in to see what we're looking at. I was dying to get my hands on this machine, so I thought I'd use a small one first, especially with all those curves. A bit of a test panel. Run this up to around speed 4, 3.5, 4. 50-50 tape there, the old classic 50-50, just to show what we're working with. It's quite good as a guide, you can see how much cut you've got rather than just machining one big panel and then wiping it off. There's a still image coming up as well. Struggled to get this on video, so I took a still and that is coming up. Yeah, really struggling. Hashtag need a new lens. There you go, 50-50. Not bad, is it? Medium pressure. We've got the weight of the machine, obviously. So I went around the front on this wing, start finishing off the wing, and just worked my way panel by panel. Just do it in small sections. Don't be greedy. Don't just smother it in compound or polish, whatever you're using. Do small sections. You wouldn't believe the angles I got in to try and get this done. So when it comes to the inner part of the wings, or fenders if you're from the US, this bit here, it's quite tricky, this bit. You've got to do this in a number of stages, just manoeuvring the polisher left and right to get right into those radiuses. You can see the swirls on the bonnet on the left. They didn't think about tall people when they did these, did they, when they built these cars? Quick wipe down. Now, I'm not using any alcohol wipe down. The reason being is because there is a small amount of fillers in the product. It would be pointless stripping everything off if you were going to use a compound, and of course you would do it the proper way, the correction way. This is an enhancement. This is just to get that gloss and remove some of the minor defects. Don't go chasing defects with this particular product. You're better off upping the game with a heavier product like a compound. But for a one step, if you're going to hit something on a day, you can't get better. Yeah, there's a song about that, isn't there? Oh, that's Quick Fit. So nearly on a knee pad, they're a must. Move on to the bigger polisher now. Bit of a mistake on Jamie's part, he sent down 6-inch pads instead of the 5-inch. These are all available on the website, or they will be by the time you're watching this. No, it's got the old ear defenders on. 2 reasons: keep my ears warm because it was very, very windy and quite chilly, and to protect my lug holes. They're not particularly noisy, but prolonged use of a machine, you'll end up with ear damage. Pardon? So on the flatter surfaces, reach for the big machine and then just use them in conjunction with each other. So this is normal speed. Notice my arm speed, fairly slow. You know, I'm whipping around that like a lunatic. You won't get anywhere. Give the machine a chance to do something. What I'm going to say to you guys is there is quite a bit of lubricant in this polish, which allows you to do longer sets. And very, very minimal dusting. Nothing worse with dust, residue, spatter. You've got to go around cleaning the car up for hours on end. Not with this stuff. Told you it was normal speed. Right, you can come back from the kitchen now and go and grab another beer. We're nearly there, we're nearly there. Ah, there you go. Remove the residue and inspect your work. The only downside when you get really good reflections, you've got to look at yourself. So shaping up already, bit of a fleck in the paint. So time to move along to the next section. More curves, copious amounts of curves on this car, which obviously makes them very desirable. And this car is going up for sale. If you fancy some fun in the sun, it is running a rather nifty V8, Edelbrock V8. Not too sure on the specs, brake horsepower. Couldn't start the car in a day due to wildlife. That's all I'm saying. Right, next pad. So this is the microfiber. Now these aren't for everyone's cup of tea. I know in the US, my US audience, you use these a lot, and there's other details out there use them. Just be careful around any sharp places on the vehicle. So I was using this and then switching back to the foam just to test them out. I actually prefer the foam one. Maybe it's just me, I'm not sure. They both provide a decent level of finish. And of course you can wash them out after. And don't forget, in between sets when they start getting clogged up, brush them out. Now back on with the big machine. Watch it, watch that chrome. One thing you do lose track of time when you're doing this. I know a lot of guys wear don't just wear ear defenders, they wear headphones and listen to their iPods or their phones. I'm happy in my work. I don't need music. I just talk to myself like some crazy lunatic. Thank goodness for small doors, eh? When it comes to that sexy bonnet, you have to do this in a number of sections because it is so blimmin' big. Once again, keeping this normal rate for you guys, so you can see my arm movement and speed. That's a little bit too much pressure there. Getting a bit carried away, getting a bit excited. So by now you must be on your 6th pint at least, or 2nd bottle of wine. I wish I'd have had a beer while I was doing this, it would have been more relaxing. Oh, that'd have been dangerous, wouldn't it? Beer and machine polishers, that never will catch on. So when it comes to the front of the car, oh my word, yes, this was rather tricky. switch back to the microfiber polishing pad, and it comes to pads, the applicator pads. Oh, very sexy. Details passion etched into the pads. It's chrome cleaning time after all that polishing. So butterfly the pad, i.e. put some on it and then just fold it so you get the product on both sides of the applicator pad. Work it in, and by working it in I mean lots of up and down action like that. Suspiciously good at that, a bit weird. And then, oh hello, and then buff it off. There's lots of that, I can assure you. There is an enormous amount of chrome on this car. You forget how much chrome there is. Put it this way, I wouldn't want to do a lorry. You guys out there in the US with your Kenworths. So these pipes, I said I was going to get these polished up. Just work it in and then buff it off. It is that easy. Damn wildlife. Wish we had this running. We don't want to wake babies up, do we? So the contrast with the chrome and the black is really starting to come through now. You definitely need to kneel on something when you're doing this, hence the old exercise mat. Oh yeah, because I'm always doing that, aren't I? Comes to the rims, same procedure. Load up the applicator pad and work it in. You can use wire wool. Obviously, it's very aggressive. You can be careful with polished rims like this. Less is more sometimes. So does it actually do anything? Does it actually get any of this tarnish off? Yes, it does. And that's the residue on the cloth. So working my way around the car with the home straight finally ahead of me. Suspiciously good at this bit, which is a bit weird. Yeah, two hands. Never, really? I know I'm big, but I'm not that big. Hello, what's going on? Steady, easy. Good job these videos ain't made for kids, eh? So, more relentless polishing of the chrome and hand-on action. We're nearly there, we're nearly there. The chrome is nearly done. Right, waxing time next. So number 12, Brazilian Carnauba wax, show wax. Look at that, etched into the wax. That's detail for you, isn't it? So give this at least 10 minutes. You can do the whole car, you can do it panel by panel, but obviously you're going to give it that amount of time. You may as well do the entire car. Gives you time to clear up, put your pressure washer away, pack your hoses away, load your car up to the gunnels. Why people say wax is dead, I don't know. It's not dead to me. I find it really, really relaxing doing waxing. It's the final bit of the whole detail. It's the cherry on the cake. The fairy on the Christmas tree. Some suspicious stains on those trousers, Paul. I hope that's compound. Try explaining that to your missus when you walk through the door. Where have you been? So it's not grabby at all, it is buttery to apply. I'll use that term, I think. Very easy to spread. It allows you to do it quite quickly, to be honest with you. And as we're on a bit of a clock, they are good looking cars, these are. So once you've applied the wax, you're letting that cure, you can go around the rest of the car with the dressing stage. This is the solvent based dress. At first appearances it is very, very glossy, but as it dries it's got a little bit more of a satin look. There is gloss there, but you can obviously layer it up. And while we're on the subject of layer up, there is another product called Layer Up, which is the water based version. Boom, boom, get it in there. Another plug. Nice contrast, isn't it, with the old black. Put a couple of layers on, you'll get a deeper, glossier finish, obviously. So we reached the stage of buffing off. So that is the microfiber. You can get these on the website. It's a luxury microfiber, very deep pile. Nice size, you can fold it over. Keep flipping it over. Time to buff off to show that showroom gloss. Show car gloss, more like. Let's see many of these in the showroom. Once you've finished buffing, packed all your gear away, took a big deep breath, should I say. It's time to admire your work. Ooh, drama, blimey, you're getting box sets out next, Paul. I did enjoy making this video, honestly it was great fun. Right, we're going to talk about the pros, the cons and the prices as we go through the video, so you can remember the prices. 3-inch spot pad polish, the DF12A. So, pros are, it's manoeuvrable, it's easy to use. Run this up to around 3.5 on the dial, 4 maybe. Just manoeuvring around the car, nice low arm speed. It's a joy to use. It's nice to use, it doesn't really vibrate that much. But wear ear defenders for all machine polish. And I made this mistake weeks ago and honestly I was like deaf. Prolonged use of any machine, just wear some ear defenders. Also keep your ears warm as well, especially on a windy day. It's not hugely loud. Vibration wise, wear gloves, just wear gloves, because any vibrations, you get a little bit of cushioning when you wear the gloves, even the black mamba gloves. Put anything on, marigolds, I don't care, just don't put mittens on. You're like, all over the blooming place. Unless you've got the elastic in, like I used to have at school, that'd be a lot easier. you're getting way off subject here. So the actual cons are, it is a little bit weighty. In fact, it's around 2.7 kilos. Now, for a little machine, that's a fair amount of weight. But it can act in your favour when you're on the flatter surfaces. So when you're above the machine, the weight is already down on the pad, so it kind of helps. You're not having to push. The downside is when you come up the doors, and it does get, you think, oh, blimey, this is like, a little bit of a workout. So that's the downside. But you've got to expect some sort of downsides with cheaper machines. You can't have it all. This is at the much lower end as far as cost is concerned. And ideally, if you're a beginner, if you want to get into machine polish and you want to get yourself sorted with a couple of machines. Right, so we are going to talk about prices, as my list is here in front of me. So the price for this, the 3-inch spot pad, is $99.99. Yes, it is 100 squid for that. And also free delivery on everything on the site, on Details Passion's site. So that is a bonus in my opinion, free delivery. So bang for your buck, it works, okay? Same for yourself. When it comes to the bigger machine, so this is slightly more money. Obviously, there's people out there going, it's not a Rupes, it's not this, it's not that. No, this is a bargain polisher, but it's got a decent quality feel to it, and it is really nice to use. I like the fact they've got this bit on the front. You can just sit there with your hand on it. It has got a handle. Didn't really feel the need to put that on at all, to be honest with you. Some people like them, I don't. They just get in the blooming way. That, yet again, weight-wise, I think this is around 2.7 kilos. It's not too bad. But the shape of it, it's exactly the same as using the Rupes. Obviously, there's differences in the internals and everything else. People are going to go, oh, hang on, I'm steering clear of that as a budget polisher. When it comes to price, this is $139.99. I paid 300 and something quid for my Rupes, and I think they've gone up, to be honest with you. They're a lot of money. Depends what you're going to be doing, how long you're going to be using the machines for. As a secondary machine, if you're a detailer, valeter, perfect. Backup machine. If you're starting as a weekend warrior and you're on a really tight budget and you can't afford to spend hundreds and hundreds of quid, don't just watch YouTube and watch Instagram and think that it's, I'm just going to go and get the best of everything. There is no need. I started off with a very, very cheap rotary. It's sat at the back and I've used it. There's nothing wrong with it. I've used really, really cheap machines before. It's more about the technique, to be honest with you, and how you perform. So that bearing in mind, to me, can't really pick any faults with that, and it's got a nice long lead with it as I'm tangling myself up in my mic. We're going to talk about the liquid stuff. So when it comes to the polish, the all-in-one. Now I was quite surprised at this. Excuse me, wipe my nose. I thought it was going to be all glazy and loads of fillers. There is a certain amount of fillers in there and a very, very small amount of protection with this, but it has got a decent amount of cut. So I was quite impressed with that, and it is pretty liquidy. It's not, it doesn't fling all over the car. You have got like a bit of sort of spatter, if you like, but I didn't really find that there was a lot of dust. You have to really work this, work it to get the dust back. Some compounds, they dust up really quick, and it doesn't give you a very long polishing time. Your sets are a lot shorter, but that will give you lots and lots of time to machine with it and muck about with it, and I really like that stuff. It's good. Dress, I've used this before, a solvent-based tyre dressing. Lovely stuff, smells divine. Glow, I've used that before. If you haven't seen this before, it's pretty lubricated, this stuff. It's not going to foam up an enormous amount, and also with problems on the day with the water supply, you couldn't get the foam to come up anyway. If I tried, I probably could have peed harder. I definitely could have pissed harder. So that, yeah, not bad at all. Chrome polish does what it says on the bottle. Removes tarnish and all the rest of it, and it gives that nice, lovely brightening effect. Lots and lots of chrome on that car. When it comes to the wax, this is less is more. This is really buttery, this stuff. I think longevity wise, around about 2 months for this. This is a show wax, so you're not going to get massive amounts of longevity. And people have been saying, waxing, is it dead? No, it's not. It's incredibly therapeutic. Get yourself a pot of wax and go and wax your car. Honestly, stress relief. The pads are sitting up here. Quickly talk about these. In the set, I would like maybe a harder pad. Now the one that's hardest out of all the three is a yellow one, and it still looks really good. This has been washed and scrubbed, and it's come up really well. I love this recess, it's great. The fact the polisher can sit in there, not jump about and fly off. But I'd like another one in the set, like a 4 set, like a heavier cut pad. These two, there's not much in it, I didn't feel on the day. This performs a little bit different. It takes a bit of getting used to that. Still nice to use, but out of the two, I'd probably prefer the foam. It's probably what I'm used to be honest with you. No need to use the black one on the day. These finish down fine. The finishing pad and the applicator pads, they speak for themselves. They're nice and big, and you can wash them as well. These, however, the 6-inch ones are a bit too big, to be honest with you, on the machine. I prefer to use a 5-inch. This was sent down by mistake. Yeah, I know, we've had a chat about it, Jamie. You can use a 6-inch on there, but it is a little bit too big. Okay, so that's the pads. So a massive thanks to Jamie for putting this lot together. We didn't meet anywhere like Lidl's early in the morning, a secret rendezvous just outside of Colchester. We didn't do that at all. Talk about dodgy, two blokes pulling up in a car park. We were very, very shady. So massive thanks to Jamie. I've tried to be as honest as possible about all this. If you're on a budget and you want to get yourself some machines, you don't mind a little bit of a workout, the extra weight on the smaller machine. I don't know why, the smaller machine just feels heavier. I don't know, might be me. Then hit the website up and grab yourself a bargain. If you're a weekend warrior and you want to start out doing this detailing, then look no further. There are no kickbacks for me for this. This is all done to give you some information as a video dictionary, if you like. That's what YouTube is used for, I think, these days. So massive thanks for watching. Now, don't forget to subscribe. Please like, put your thumbs up, share this video as much as you like, and that will really help me. And I'll see you on the next one, guys.